Hey everybody, Princess Friend here. Today we're going to be talking about the Anthology, the 1995 to 2010 Anthology that was released by Sony and Legacy Records when they threw all of Prince's later albums up through 2010 up on all the different streaming services. I've actually gotten the question a few times of like, is this thing worth it? Or like, what's on it? You know, what's great about it? So first off, let's start with the positives. There's a really great mix of music on here. There is at least one track from all of the albums that they did put out, so it gives you just like a slight taste of everything. These are the albums that are my Prince albums, so I really enjoy seeing all of these songs kind of released in a new format, in a little bit maybe more of a digestible way that others can kind of take in. That being said, it is a little bit weird, the format that they were all released in and possibly the orders. So first off, there doesn't seem to be any kind of order to the tracks. They were like, these are all the tracks we decided, just throw them on there any way you want. Like, for instance, it starts with Emancipation, which was actually an album ender for Emancipation. It ends with We March, which is an odd one too, especially since you have You Make My Sunshine just a few tracks before it. That would have really like sealed in that album. Also, I noticed on some of the tracks that they left the extras in on some songs and took the extras out on other songs. For instance, on I Hate You, they took out all of the You Have Now Accessed the Hate Experience stuff at the beginning of the track, but then on a track like The Work Part 1 on Rainbow Children, they left the stuff after the track, and then they leave it on for a song like 1 + 1 + 1 is 3. So it's weird. They took some stuff off and added other things, and it was just it'd been interesting choices made all around. I do want to say though that none of them are edited poorly. I remember on the Forever track, I was really kind of ragging on how they edited Bat Dance down to a weird, I don't know, they cut out all like the best parts and it didn't flow right the way that they edited it. So I will say that that is definitely a cool thing about this, is that none of the tracks are edited. You are getting the full experience, except for the couple of things that I mentioned before where they kind of edited a couple of things here and there out, but that's not really that big of a deal. It's also 37 tracks, which is a lot of tracks to just buy on like one straight anthology. I think they probably would have done better had they maybe done it in two parts, kind of like how the hits 1 and 2 were, and it would have made it a little bit more digestible for the common person. I actually have all of the tracks already, so I didn't repurchase it. I downloaded it obviously because I'm a member of the streaming services, so I was able to kind of listen to it in order and kind of get a feel for what they were trying to do. I think the number of tracks off of each of the different albums it was also an odd choice. So there were 37 tracks, 6 of them were from the Gold Experience, and I love the Gold Experience probably more than the average person, but it was odd to have 6 tracks from there. They have 3 tracks from Planet Earth, 3 from Rainbow Children, and then 3 from Crystal Ball. And then everything else is 1s and 2s. So 6 is a big number. 6 is like a bunch of other albums combined. So they gave a lot of attention to the Gold Experience, which was, again, an odd choice. They could have taken a couple of those away and maybe given us one more 3121 track since we only got one of those. They could have given us one more Slaughterhouse track since we only got one of those. Also, I think that the Crystal Ball tracks, I don't know, it's weird because if it's supposed to be, you know, his songs from 1995 to 2010, I know Crystal Ball was released in 1997. However, they were all older tracks that were recorded in the 80s, and that's why he had created Crystal Ball, was like a big compilation to release all the songs that he didn't get out before then. So I don't know, it felt a little odd to have those tracks on here too. And again, I think that those could have been put aside and allowed for more tracks off of, say, 2010, we only got 1 off of that. The Truth, we only got 1 off of that. Expectation, we only got 1. You know, Lotus Flower and MPLS Sound. Lotus Flower, we got 2. MPLS Sound, we only got 1. You know, so there was definitely room for growth in terms of the compilation itself. Also, 37 is a weird number. I don't know if there's actually significance to the number 37. If anybody knows about that, I actually really do want to know. But like, I don't know, I might have rounded it and then made it 2. I would have made it like 38 and had both albums have 19. But then at that point, like, I probably would just do 20 and 20 and make it around 40, which again would give us more room for kind of the growth and whatnot that we have. So I think that those were probably my only gripes I mean, otherwise, I think that the actual song selections were pretty good. I think that there were maybe a couple that I would have left off and replaced with, you know, something else. Like I may have taken off When I Lay My Hands on You and possibly put on Super Cute instead. Dinner with Dolores was not necessarily that big of a hit. I may have replaced that with either Right the Wrong or Last December. But really, other than that, I think that this was pretty good. So the main question then is, like, is it worth it? I would say it is. I would say that it's inexpensive, especially if you already are part of the streaming services. So it's worth it for you to pick it up if you just kind of want to get a taste of what Prince was doing around 1995 to 2010. Again, it's not really his later years because it stops at 2010. We're not going to get those albums after that time until, I think he said 2021, I think was the deal. But I think that it's a good compilation, a little Gold Experience heavy, but other than that slight gripe, I think it's pretty darn good. So I would suggest everybody get it. It's got tracks you can't get anywhere else on another compilation anywhere. I mean, besides actually going and buying each of the individual albums. But again, if you're a member of the streaming services, you can stream all the albums. You know, again, I'm always of the mindset that you can always throw some money. There's the thing, right? Is like if you subscribe to the streaming services and you listen to it during the streaming services, then they're making, you know, pennies. But if you actually buy the album, then that's like full-on support for them releasing more stuff. And now, of course, we are still waiting on possible news of a physical release of maybe even this, but any of the albums. We're kind of looking for more of these albums to be physically released, especially the Chocolate Invasion and Slaughterhouse. So those are some really cool albums out there. So listen to them while they're streaming, and I'll do a video as soon as they announce whether they're going to be doing physicals. But what do you guys think about the anthology, the 1995 to 2010? I love the logo, first off, but let me know down in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow me on social media. Check out the Patreon, and as always, may you live to see the dawn. Hey everybody, I hope that you really enjoyed that video. We're back with a new logo and new intros and new music, and we're going to have all the reviews, all of the discussions that has become kind of the staple of Prince's Friend, and we're very excited to bring that to you. Stick around for the fun.